Chapter 6. In this chapter, we'll learn how to create a form using the form library. We'll learn how to handle form inputs, show specific form field validation errors, and perform form submission. Now, after submitting a form, we need to persist the data by calling the API endpoint of the server. We'll begin to explore how to communicate with the server in the next chapter. So chapter 6, we start with importing our React component, and then we also import our user form, and then we call basically our user form. So in our user form, we still import the React component, and then also import formic. We have our user form component with its constructor, and props and the super props. So our form will have a heading that says any place in your app, and then the formic library will initialize our email, which shows as it's empty, and the password that is empty. So this is basically our email box and our password box. We also need to validate that the user inputs the correct data. So with our validations here, we start with that if there is no email. So if the user doesn't input an email, it will give an error required. And then from there, if the user has entered an email, it will check the rejects to check if the email is in the correct format. If the email is not in the correct format, it will give the invalid email address error message. Then it will also check the email length. So if the email length is lower, is shorter than 10, it will say email address too short. And then if there is no password, it will give the error password is required. And then if the password length is less than 8, it will say password too short, must be more than 8 characters. And then on submit, when the user submits their data will be stringified and converted into a JSON format, and then it will do it in 400 basic milliseconds, and we will set the set submitting will be false, so it tells the app that the submitting is in process. So with our field tab, we have the email, and then with the placeholder email, when the error message pops up, it will pop up in the color red with the error message. So the error message will pop up in the color red, same as the color of the error message for password will pop up in red. And then we will have the submit button. So the submit button will be disabled when it is submitting. The submit button will be disabled to show that what the user submitting is being processed. So this is our chapter 6.